I said quiet. Hi y'all, I am just sharing the live. Appreciate if you do the same. Hey Liz, how you doing? Hi Beth, hello. Y'all, I am so sorry that I missed Wednesday's classes, but I was down and out. Little side tangent, I am in the middle of fighting insurance for a medication that offers me relief from endometriosis symptoms, which is fucking amazing. For the first time in my entire adult life, I don't experience pain. However, insurance won't approve it. So I'm currently back down with pain. So we're in the middle of that, middle of figuring that out. Don't you love it when they're like, there's no proof that it affects your quality of life? Would you like me to call you when it's affecting my quality of life? How would you like me to prove to you that it's affecting my quality of life? So I called them when it was affecting my quality of life, and they got to listen to me yak up nothing, because I can't eat during my cycle because of that for 3 days, before, during, and after, for the first 3 days. But it doesn't affect quality of life at all. So I called up the rep, and I was just like, I don't know how else to prove it to you guys. Hi, Talia. You have endo too, Beth. Yeah. I am doing all right. I'm doing much better today. I have been on a regular regimen of acupuncture, which is amazing. And I just happened to schedule an appointment before I started. So let me get YouTube titled over here. 30-minute gentle, what's our tagline? 30-minute gentle flow for every body and every space. All right, YouTube, we're live. I am doing better today. This is the reason. It's actually, I mean, that and the neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome are one of the things that keep me from going out and getting like a regular 9 to 5, right? And that's what I was trying to impress upon to insurance, is that I literally can't go get a regular job. Otherwise, I have to call out of my job 3 times or more a month because of this thing. And thank you, perimenopause. Now it's not just during that time; it's like all the other times during the month too. And I'm like, this is why I do this, because if I'm can't come to work during a day, I'm not gonna get fired. Nobody's gonna fire me. Nobody's gonna give me reprimanding except for myself. But I took a great day of self-care, and that's always important. Hi Zelda. Talia, what are we doing? We are doing tiny yoga. Let me know, is it skipping for you? So here's what I have discovered. TikTok likes to lag my content. I don't know why. YouTube, it seems to work just fine on. I've got the most upgraded internet available in my area, which is like fiber something or other, and it's actually quite good, quite amazing upload and download speed and all that stuff. So it's not my internet. It's got to be TikTok. So if you guys want to clear live, you can come over to YouTube. I move with change on YouTube. So if it gets annoying over here on TikTok, please go over to YouTube and support me over there. Or share, like, love, whatever the live here on TikTok, so that TikTok gets the idea that this is not content, this is content you actually like, right? But streaming on multiple platforms tells me that the issues with TikTok is the issues with TikTok itself. It's not, yeah, not my internet. Or yours, for that matter. Hi, Natalie. Beth, hope I have some relief soon. Maybe. We shall see. We shall see. Right now, I'm going to find myself a little bit of relief here doing some tiny yoga. So, welcome in, everyone. We will wait until 2:10. It's Pacific time here, so we'll wait until about 5 more minutes before class starts, so everybody has a minute to filter in. We are focusing on the earth chakra today, so we're going to do a lot of grounding focus, sending the energy down into our body. We're going to work from the top all the way down during our flow. We will sit with our mudra for this week, which is the Apana mudra. It's done like so, like your metal horns, right? Just a second, dog. I can let you in. Come on. Come on. And since I missed Wednesday's class, which is our CAYA classroom class, where I talk about the specific chakra and the like general info for the week, because I missed that, I brought my whiteboard out so that if you guys want to hang out and after the flow, we will talk a little bit about the what's it called? The earth chakra, the chakra that's about 12 to 18 inches below the foot. Margarita, can I explain what tiny is? Tiny yoga. So, my YouTube is Move with Change. I am Move with Change on YouTube and any of the other platforms that I'm on. So this class, Tiny Yoga, is a 30-minute gentle chair yoga flow for everybody in every space. You don't have to have a fancy chair. You don't have to have yoga experience. You don't have to wear any fancy yoga clothes. You don't even have to be heck, you can have a bed or the side of your couch or a park bench or the front seat of your car or the back seat of your car. Depending on the flow we're doing, you might have to finagle around to get a little bit of space, but this class was born out of two things. One, the limited space that I have when I'm traveling in the RV. And I personally, my yoga practice has always been very personal. I have gone to yoga classes and done public, yoga things like that. But developing my practice has always been a very personal thing for me. And when I'm practicing on my own, I don't like to practice outside. And when I travel in the RV, it was only the only place to travel to do a full yoga flow. So I developed this class for me as a way to be able to get up in the morning, because I also have limited mobility, thanks Ehlers-Danlos. So I wake up in the morning pretty stuck, and it hurts to just get up and start walking around. So I created this class so that I can sit on the edge of wherever I am, roll up and just get myself upright, and then create a little more movement in my body and take care of my body wherever I am, even if it's where you're in the car, perfect, or at the office or wherever it is, right? It's just a 30-minute flow. There's nothing too complicated. This is not the class where you're going to build super muscle or super toned anything in this class. This is much more about your awareness, right? Your intention and your attention. It's cultivating our sense of awareness, a sense of presence within ourselves so that we can experience the more subtle layers of our being and of our reality. You go out into those full asana, 45 to an hour minute long vinyasa flows, and you might get through all those poses and you might love the feeling of that burn and that flow and that activity, right? You might love all of those things and they have their purpose in place. But when we're in those classes, we rarely slow down enough to be really present with how our body feels in each pose. So in this space, we do a lot of that, a lot of pausing in between, a lot of breathing in each pose, a lot of awareness, just where are the shoulders, where are the ears, where's the chin, where are the toes? And because this month in March, we're talking about the lower chakras, the lower minor chakras, and the Earth Star chakra, I have my board here. We're not going to start talking about the chakras yet. We're going to do our 30-minute flow. And then after the 30-minute flow, we will sit with our mudra for the week. And then I will talk about the earth chakra, and we will review the other minor chakras. Like I said, Wednesday evening from 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific time is usually our, here's the theme for the month class. Here's the theme for the week class. But I was under the weather, so I did not show up for that. So today I'm going to go ahead and tack that onto the back of Tiny Yoga. So again, if the stream is slow for you who are on TikTok, thank you, TikTok. It likes to lag my lives. I guess the content is just really that good. Wink, 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 wink. That wasn't a wink, sorry. You can go to YouTube. I Move with Change on YouTube as well, and that usually stays a little more steady. So, I missed several things here. Thor, slouching at the computer all day, every day. Yeah. So a lot of us do, right? Even when we don't realize it, sitting down on our phones or even reading books. Like, even if you're not on your phone or on a computer, there is so much doing dishes, cooking, taking care of our littles, right? There's so much time, so many ways in which we do this. And I notice for me, because this is also a protective posture, I've spent a lot of years doing my normal activities like this with somewhat of a slouch, right? That upper spine. So, awareness within your body is one of the most powerful things you can have, because if you have that awareness and you can catch yourself in the moment going, oh wow, I'm washing my hands with all kinds of tension in my shoulders, let me take that out and see if I can find a way to wash my hands without tension in my shoulders. This is how we heal ourselves, right? Enlightenment is not something we just go, oh my God, I'm enlightened. It is a journey. It is the process of walking ourselves through more and more subtle layers of our reality. And a lot of that is ourselves, right? And a lot of us have looked at this reality, but not this reality. So, did I miss any questions or anything? No, I don't think I did. Oh, Jay, you asked, what do I suggest for people with scoliosis? Practices like this, practices of awareness, practices of really just finding small ways to adjust your posture, adjust the way that your body is holding, right? Remember that your body can create patterns where you're in a holding pattern. And even when you go get a massage or do yoga or, whatever it is where you do to adjust your body, you're like, oh, great, look, I'm fixed. Your body will remember and go back to that sort of deal, right? So that back to that misalignment. Um, Ooh, Beth, having extension. I am hyperextended, right? Because and it does need another layer of awareness. I have been going to my chiropractor, and he points out to me, he goes, you have a really interesting predicament because you're extremely flexible, right? He goes, I can twist you in all the ways I need to twist you. He goes, but it's not meant to go that far. And for the longest time, I didn't know that. I thought I was good at yoga because I could get in every pose, but I had no strength surrounding my joints. I had no muscle memory that would keep my stuff in place. I was just constantly trying to like rearrange my body in my day-to-day life. So, yeah, come sit with us. It's already over 2:10. It's already over 10 minutes. So find the edge of your seat and we will get right into class. You did physical therapy to strengthen muscles and hold yourself together. Physical therapy is super, super, super helpful if you can find an opportunity to get some. I always recommend it, even if you're just concerned about your posture a little bit. Natalie says, you can believe how much time slows down for me when I am practicing mindfulness, which has been really, really refreshing. I will leave this in your brains before we start class. Quantum physics, no, just the reality of the universe, right? It's just science tells us that the only static in the universe is light. That means everything else in the universe bends and moves around light itself, around the vibration that is this energy that moves through everything in the universe. That means time and space are not static. We used to believe that they were the stage, right? That we moved across. That was the old belief in our scientific understanding. And then we understood that time and space themselves bend around light. What is light? Light is your consciousness. Quantum mechanics can look at this and see the way that time and space determine themselves, and our experience of time and space are directly related to how we perceive them, what we believe about them, and where our attention is. If your attention is somewhere else, my favorite example is when you're driving home on the same route you've gone a million times over and you're worried about something that happened at work. How many times have you arrived home and gone, oh shit, I didn't see the last 3 blocks or more? That is a direct experience of the way that you can alter your experience of space and time. When you're frustrated or when you're sad or when you're waiting for something to happen, biting your nails, we experience time very, very differently. When we're really enjoying it or we're really not enjoying it, we have the experience of how space and time shifts and changes around our awareness of it and our willingness to perceive it and where our attention is, right? Hey, KK, how are you? So, Let's experience some of that. Let's come settle in. Go ahead and find the edge of your seat, and we're going to jump right into class. So, find the edge of your seat. Go ahead and shake it out. Give yourself some wiggles. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths to fully arrive for our practice. First, I'd like you to make sure that your knees are stacked over your ankles. So the ankles are directly below the knees and your feet are nice and planted on the ground. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Rock your feet back and forth so you can feel the connection. It's okay if you have your shoes on. Hey, thank you, friend. It's okay if you have your shoes on or wherever you are. I want you to just send your attention down into your feet and feel the points of connection. You can close your eyes if you'd like to help you bring more of that awareness down into your feet. And then let's take those 3 deep breaths. Go ahead and relax your arms either by your side or your hands in your lap. And begin first by inhaling the breath through the nose and pulling it all the way down into the belly. And sigh it out. Next one, inhale, expanding the rib cage in all directions. Feel the expansion front, sides, and back. And let that go. This time, inhale the breath to lift the heart and lift the top of the head to elongate the spine. And as you exhale, gently tuck your chin and allow your shoulder blades to melt down your back. Give your elbows a little bit of a flap to keep the arms nice and loosey-goosey. Tip your tailbone out just a little bit, like you have a little tail that you don't want to sit on. Give your tailbone a waggle. Lifting through the top of the head, relaxing the belly, relaxing the jaw. Go ahead and seal the lips and just listen to the breath for a moment. Go ahead and give your body a scan briefly. Notice if there's anything feeling stuck, rigid, uncomfortable, if there's anything feeling anxious or busy, if your mind is saying, oh my God, how long is this going to take? Or if your mind is saying, we have a bunch of other things to do. Or if your mind is saying, we can't do this. All of that just starts to fade into the background as we listen to the breath. This breath is going to be your anchor for practice. If at any point you find yourself up in your head, worrying about something or arguing about something, return to the breath. If at any point you find tension in your body during a pose and you can still breathe within it, take a breath. If there's a distraction outside of you that seems to want to pull you out of practice, return to the breath. Remember that in this space, you are your own guru. You are in your body. You are the one walking yourself from darkness to light. Any moment of tension, any distraction is an opportunity to walk ourselves back to our anchor, to our focus, and that's just the breath. On your next inhale, lift the chin up towards the ceiling. And exhale it all the way back down to the chest. Inhale the chin up, reaching up towards the sky. Nice and slow. Exhale back down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. And on your next inhale, go ahead and roll the head in one direction. We're just warming up the muscles here. An opportunity to say hello, to notice where there's stuck. Notice where there's tension. Notice where we don't feel good or notice where we do feel good. Hi, neck. Thanks for holding my big fat head up all the time. Next time your chin reaches your chest, switch directions. Just a couple times around. offering a gentle smile to any moments of tension, any snap, crackle, pops, anything going on in your neck. Give it a smile. Hi, neck. Thank you so much for holding my head up. Last one. Next time your chin meets your chest, inhale back up to neutral. Give your shoulders a little shimmy. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, turn just the head to gaze over one shoulder. You can keep your eyes closed as long as you'd like to, or you can go ahead and open them up. Inhale back through center. And exhale, gaze over the other shoulder. We're not looking for hyperextension here. Again, especially if you're flexible, don't extend to the full extent. Just gaze over that shoulder. Inhale back through center and exhale to the other side. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back to neutral. Inhale, lengthen through the top of the head. One more with the head and neck here. Lengthen through the top of the head. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. And as you exhale, just drop one ear towards the shoulder. We're not going to lift the shoulder up. If you need to, wiggle your elbows so they stay loose. Just tilting the head, ear towards the shoulder. Feel that stretch begin to reach through the side of your neck and even into your shoulder and up through that ear. Big deep breaths. Notice how the stretch deepens just as we breathe without the need to use our hands to overextend or to push ourselves past our boundaries. Just there is movement even in our stillness. Inhale the head back up to neutral, nice and slow. Exhale the ear to the other shoulder, other ear to other shoulder. Shoulders nice and relaxed. You're just tipping your head down as if you're trying to listen to a who standing on your shoulder. Huh? What'd you say? Go ahead and inhale back up to neutral. Offer yourself some shoulder rolls in whatever direction feels good to you. Forward, backward, same time, opposite time. Opposite time? For those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Reverend Deborah. I'm an interfaith minister, a movement facilitator, and your shenanigan shaman. I forgot to introduce myself as such, so beware, shenanigans exist in this space. Wiggle those shoulders out and come back to neutral. Place your hands on your thighs or all the way up at your knees, and we're going to move into cat-cows. You know how I like to do, we start nice and slow. So inhale the belly forward, tip the hips so that the top of your pelvis tips forward and your tailbone lifts up in the back. Belly button forward just a little bit. Lift the chin ever so slightly. Inhale. And exhale, tilt the low spine, the pelvis backward, tuck the belly button in towards the spine, exhale. Inhale forward, send your chest forward now too, opening of the heart, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chin. And exhale, curve the spine all the way back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Forward, inhale. Exhale back. Get the head all the way from the top of the head to the tailbone, moving with this motion. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Last one. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale back up to neutral. Reach your left hand across to your right thigh. Release that right arm down to your side and then sweep it open, reaching with the fingertips, keeping that hand nice and open. Reach with the fingertips all the way out to the side and then overhead. Pause here when your arm is overhead, fingers outstretched, reaching towards the sky. Drop the shoulder to make sure that you're not closing up your shoulder, closing up your ear. Nice long spine. Inhale. Exhale, drop down to the left, reaching over with that right hand, and then gaze past your armpit for a side stretch in the right side body. You want to feel this from your fingertips all the way down into your hips. If you're not quite feeling it, create a little more space. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back up to neutral and release that right arm. We're going to go for the other side. Right arm reaches across to the left thigh. Release the left arm down by your side. Give it a shake. Extend those fingers. And as you inhale, sweep the arm out to the side and up overhead. Pause when it's directly overhead. Stretch those fingertips out nice and wide. Reach for the sky with the fingertips. Drop the shoulder. Nice long spine. Gently tuck the chin. Nice posture as we inhale. And exhale, drop down to the right side. Opening that left side body. Gaze past your armpit. You want to feel this stretch all the way from the fingertips down into the hips. Create a little more space if you're not yet feeling it with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back up to neutral. Release that left arm. Bring your hands together at the heart. Inhale those hands all the way up overhead. A little bit of a back bend here. You want to keep the palms together. Little back bend. Gazing up towards your fingertips. Then come back upright to neutral. Keep the shoulders low. Nice long spine. And then as you inhale, twist the torso, let's say to the right side. So the torso will move to the right, just the torso. Keep your legs where they are, your knees where they are, everything else where it is. Everything above your hips turns to the right. Once you're here, once you found your full extension, go ahead and open the arms. Your right arm will be placed behind you on the bed or on your chair, and that front arm will land on the outside of your right thigh. This is not so you can wrench yourself deeper into this stretch. This is just to balance you where you're at, hold where you're at. Take some deep breaths here. As you inhale, expand the rib cage, lengthen the spine, create some space in the belly. And as you exhale, without using pressure on your hands, see if you can deepen your stretch a little bit. Gaze over that back shoulder, looking towards that hand behind you, and feel your rib cage twisting just a little deeper. Breathe. Feel this twist like it's wringing out the entire length of your spine. Inhale again. And slowly come back to center as you release the arms. We don't want to slingshot ourselves back to the front. Shake it out. Palms together at the heart. I'm going to go for the other side. Send those hands up overhead. Look at those hands. Give yourself a little back bend. And then come back up to neutral. Inhale, twisting the body, the torso all the way to the left this time. Knees stay where they are. Hips stay where they are. Everything above the hips twists to the left. Open those arms. Left hand behind you. Right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale. Exhale, gaze over that back shoulder and deepen your twist. Remember, we're not putting pressure on our knees or we're not using the hands to twist deeper. We're just using intention and breath. Inhale to create space and exhale to allow the torso to twist deeper on its own. Couple breaths. The movement, these twists may be minor when you're breathing in here, but I want you to really feel your awareness into these tiny little movements. On your next exhale, go ahead and release back to the front. Give yourself some wiggles and stretch it. Give yourself some wiggles in the shoulders and in the torso. Bring the hands together at the heart. One more little back bend. Send them up overhead. Back bend. And as you exhale, keep the arms extended and fold forward from the hips. Try to keep a nice long spine. Arms outstretched until you rest the chest on the thighs or even between them. If you'd like to drop between them, you're welcome to, or you can just rest the chest here. Release the arms, release the head, and take 3 big, deep breaths here in your forward fold. Hi, puppy. Feel those breaths as you inhale, not just filling the rib cage, not just your upper chest, not just your collarbone, but fill your belly, feel the breath expanding your low back too. See if you can breathe nice, big, and deep, pulling the breath all the way into your low back. One more big, deep breath here. Exhale. On your next inhale, just go for a little twist here. So wherever you're at, take your right arm and drag it across your chest as you open the chest and reach up towards the sky. Keeping one arm down on the ground or on your lower legs. You want to feel this stretch lower in the back, deeper into the hips. You might get some sciatic pops. Just breathe here. Release gently back down to your fold on the exhale. On the inhale, take the left hand, drag it across the chest as you open up the shoulders and reach up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Big deep breaths all the way down to the low back. On your next exhale, go ahead and release back down to your forward fold. Pause here for just a moment. Slowly roll up on your next inhale. Keeping those arms nice and loose by your sides. Stacking vertebra on top of vertebra until the spine is reaching up towards the sky. Go ahead and give yourself some shoulder rolls. We're going to drop the knees side to side, windshield wipering the knees back and forth. Go ahead and let your feet roll back and forth over the outside and the inside of your feet. Feel your heel as you roll back and forth across the heel, the ball of the foot, the toes even, the entire foot, everything that touches the earth. You're feeling that rolling side to side as we move the knees back and forth, back and forth. Come back to neutral and take your right knee. Go ahead and pull it up into your chest and give it a nice big squeeze. Really squeeze this knee like you love the shit out of this knee. This is your favorite knee. You've loved this knee for all your life and will love this knee for all the rest of your life. Hi, knee. I love you, right knee. Go ahead and flex your right foot, and we're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. Let that right knee fall open for a seated pigeon pose. Allow this to fall open however much feels comfortable. Please do not put pressure on this. Again, this is not the space for pushing past your boundaries. Let's invite more movement into the hip with the breath and only the breath. You can rest your hands on your shin, on your foot, anywhere else. Please do not rest it on the right knee. Lengthen through the top of the head. Allow the shoulder blades to melt down the back. And just as we did before, this time we're going to take our inhale and we're going to bring the inhale all the way down, this time into that right hip. Inhale the breath. Feel the feeling of the right hip filling with breath. And as you exhale, notice how it creates just a little more space and that right knee drops just a little more open. The breath and only the breath is creating space in that right hip. Keep this right foot flexed to help protect the knee joint. Please keep your right foot flexed. Breathe. all the way down into the right hip. With all of this awareness now into that right hip, the breath pulling all the way down into the hip opening up, I invite you to take the right foot and bring it down to the inside of your thigh. If you can get it there, if not, the inside of your knee works just fine, or the inside of your calf, but ideally to the inside of your thigh. Before you release it, build some strength here. Bring intention into your muscles. You're going to hold this for a seated tree pose. You can hold on to it if you'd like to. You don't have to let go. If you feel strong enough in this, go ahead and use the pressure between the right foot and the left thigh to keep that right leg here at this angle. Bring the hands together. Seated tree pose. The intention here is to make the connection between the right foot and the left thigh. Bring the energy together, bring the muscles together without creating too much of a push, right? You're not trying to drop open. Keep that left knee nice and squared, nice and centered, and that right foot pressing into it. And then bring your intention down to the left foot, sending energy down into the earth and pulling energy up into the earth. A nice grounding exchange through that left foot that is grounding you deeper and deeper into the earth, making this easier to hold this right foot to your left thigh. Hands at your heart in prayer if you'd like to, or just hold on to that right ankle. Breathe. 3. Exhale. Inhale. 2. Nice long exhale. Inhale. 1. As you exhale, grab a hold of that right knee and bring it back up to your chest. Give it a really, really, really big hug because you really love this knee. It does so much for you. Go ahead and release that right knee down. We're going to go for the left side. Reach out for that left knee. Give it a big old hug, a big old squeeze, like this is the best knee you've ever had in your entire life, and you'll love it for your entire life, long before today and every day after today. Thank you, knee, for being awesome. Flex your left foot and cross the left foot over the right knee. Allow that left knee to fall open on its own. You can place your hands on your left shin, on the calf, or towards the ankle. You can hold them here at your heart. You can rest them on your hips, wherever works, but please do not put pressure on the left knee. We're going to use the breath and only the breath to create space in the left hip. Let's take several breaths here. Again, lengthening through the top of the head. Exhaling to release any tension. And then as we inhale, bringing the breath all the way into that left hip. Feel the feeling of the left hip filling with fresh, clean oxygen. And as you exhale, allow your breath to carry away anything that's blocking this hip from opening, anything that is hurting or anything not feeling good in this hip. If this, by the way, this is not a no pain, no gain space. So if this is hurting, then please just come out of the pose and we can move on to something else here in a minute. We're not intended to hurt ourselves. Hey, Brian, how are you? Inhaling the breath all the way into the hip, exhaling completely. Let the breath create a little more space as the hip slowly opens up. Keep that left foot extended, or keep the left foot extended to protect the left knee. You can stay here with this part of the practice, just allowing the left knee to fall open with the breath. If you'd like to do seated tree pose, go ahead and send that energy down through the right foot first. Ground out in the right foot. Feel the energy coming back up through the earth, grounding you strong and tall like a tree, even though you got a bent tree today. Bring that left foot to touch the inside of the right thigh. Press them together with intention, just like you're doing a tree pose. And you can either hold the ankle here or bring the hands together at the heart. We're just going to take several breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the strength in your legs. Feel the energy coming up from the earth to stabilize you. Keep breathing. Inhale one more time. As you exhale, go ahead and wrap your arms around that left knee. Hug it to your chest like it is your absolute favorite part of your body. I love you, knee. Thanks for keeping me mobile. You're awesome. You're so cool. Go ahead and release that left knee down to the earth. And we're going to windshield wiper those knees back and forth just a couple of times. Back and forth, back and forth. Where are we at on time? Okay, perfect. One more. We're going to extend both legs out in front of us. Flex the feet. Inhale to lengthen through the spine one more time. Make sure you're not on the very, very, very edge of your bed or your couch. I'm kind of a little too close to the edge, and I don't want anybody falling and busting their ass and blaming me for it. So make sure you are stable on your seat. Thank you, Christina. Make sure you're stable on your seat. Extend those feet out in front of you. Legs fully extended. Feet flexed. As if the toes are trying to come back and kiss your knees. See if you can pull your toes back just with the feet, so as if they're kind of trying to come up and touch your knees here, okay? Inhale, lengthen through the spine, lifting through the top of the head. Long spine, reaching into the earth with your tailbone. Inhale. As you exhale, begin tipping at the hips. Keep your spine nice and long. Fingertips, you can walk yourself down your legs as you tip only at the hips. Nice long spine. Keep it long as far as you can. Keep that tilting only in the hips as far as you can go. When you start feeling your low back curve, stop there. Take a deep breath in. Pull the breath all the way into your low back. And as you exhale, just walk yourself 1 or 2 fingertips more. Keep that nice long spine. Inhale again. And exhale a little bit deeper. Try to keep that spine nice and long. Don't go any deeper if you start to slouch, if your spine starts to curve, come back out a little bit. 2 more breaths here. Breathing all the way into the low back. Exhale a little bit deeper. Keep those feet flexed. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale one more time. Big deep breath. This time, release completely. Go ahead and curve the spine and let the head hang. Let the arms hang. Drop down. Hi, dog. Just rest here for a moment. Hi, dog. On your next inhale, begin slowly rolling up. Give your shoulders a shimmy and a shake and a roll and a rock and whatever you need. Bring those feet back up. And at this point, we're going to close our practice with our Apana mudra. The Apana mudra is our mudra for this week, and it's the mudra that I've decided to couple or to partner put with the earth chakra. The earth star chakra is the chakra that is 12 to 18 inches below the feet. So we're going to use the Apana mudra. The Apana mudra is for our downward flowing energy. We sit with our mudras for a minimum of 5 minutes because it takes about 5 minutes for energy to circulate through our systems. What happens when we use mudras is we are redirecting the energy channels that move through our system by changing the position of our hands. So the Apana mudra goes like so. One hand or both, it's up to you. I encourage you to try both hands. You just drop your 2 middle fingers, the middle and the ring finger, into your palm. And then you take the pad of your thumb and you press it on top of, there's not a lot of mudras that have more pressure, so to speak, in them. This is one of them. This is one where you place your thumb on the pad of your thumb on top of the nails of your fingers, and you create intentional pressure. Please don't make this so hard that you're popping your fingers or that you can't hold it for 5 minutes. That's not going to benefit you, right? So one hand or both, I encourage you to try both. Pad of the thumb on top of the nails of the middle and ring finger. Keep the pointer and pinky extended. Yes, this is our rock horns, right? Yes. This is the mudra for the downward flow of energy. If you are early on in pregnancy, do not use this mudra. This mudra will push energy down and out of the system. This energy will push energy down towards the root chakra, which can be really clearing and really healing. But if we are trying to hold our pelvic floor and strengthen our pelvic floor, this is not the mudra to use for that. If you are constipated, this is a fantastic mudra for that. If you are physically constipated or mentally or emotionally constipated, fucking use this mudra, because energy, right? Energy moves through all the different layers of self. This is a great mudra to use for if you're struggling with being able to rest and being able to settle into quiet spaces. This is a mudra that's going to strengthen your connection to the planet itself and to the flow of energy that releases through our feet, releases downward into the earth. Remember, the same way that we exchange breath with the trees, right? My exhale, the trees inhale, and their exhale, I inhale. The same thing works with the earth, with our energy body. There is energy that we release down into the earth and charge that we receive from the earth. That's why it's so important to walk barefoot and things like that. And we'll talk about the earth chakra and these lower minor chakras after our practice. But for now, I invite you to sit for 5 minutes with the Apana Mudra. Again, the only real contradiction here, actually there's two things. If you are currently in your early stages of pregnancy, please do not use this mudra. If you're later stages in pregnancy, please be mindful of using this mudra. If you use this mudra and you experience contractions and you're still too early, stop immediately, okay, right? Or you make your decisions. The other thing is, if you have just eaten, if your belly is full, this is not a fun mudra to do when your belly is full, because it will move your digestion quicker and push that energy down through your digestion. So if you have a full stomach, wait for a little bit, right? Give yourself like 45 minutes or something like that. Okay. And if at any point you're doing any practice with me and it doesn't feel good to you right now, then put a pause on it. Press the pause button and you can either come back to it again, or you can say, hey, that one didn't work for me. Okay, so let's sit for our practice, and then I will remind you guys about the inner light map and other things like that so you can get the most out of the practices this year. But for now, I have my handy dandy timer for 5 minutes. If you would like to join me, all you need to do is sit with this mudra, one or both hands, and close your eyes. So as long as you can safely close your eyes for 5 minutes, I encourage you to join me and do so. Even if you can't sit for the full 5 minutes, I invite you to practice. This is one of those foundational pieces of mindfulness, really just cultivating our intention and our attention. Right now, my intention is just to receive the energy of this mudra, right? Receive whatever benefit that this mudra is going to bring to me, and I bring my attention back to that again and again and again. You can listen to the breath. You can pay attention, give attention to the pressure that you're putting with your thumb on those fingers, right? You can bring your attention to the sound or feeling of your heartbeat. Whatever anchor you choose for your practice, that is where your attention needs to stay, right? You're doing like a mental attention focus, a staring contest with your attention. Let's see how long you can keep your attention staring at the mudra or at your breath or at your heartbeat. 5 minutes. Begins now. Both hands, like so, thumb pushing onto the nails of these two fingers, not so hard that you create pressure, that you're, popping your knuckles or what have you. Place it palms up on your thighs. You can sit like so at the edge of your chair, or you can go ahead and cross your legs. I'm not gonna cross my legs, because of this one, we are working with the earth chakra. So if you can, keep your feet grounded on the earth. I'm going to grab my Apana Mudra, close my eyes, and we are already into our first minute. So let's stay with the breath. And just let everything else fall away. if focusing on the breath is not enough to quiet a busy mind, which sometimes it's not, you can add a simple mantra and say to yourself, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Use whatever tools are necessary for you today to stay as focused as possible. And when you notice that you've wandered off, please avoid shame or guilt or blame or frustration and just return to your anchor. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. I am simply here to receive the benefit from this mudra. As you sit with this practice, you may notice all manner of sensations. I encourage you to allow them to pass just as you allow the busy thoughts to pass. Just like the breath, these things rise and fall within our experience. It is our attachment to them that causes tension. So let everything fall into that rhythm. Remember that meditation is a personal practice. The more you sit with it, the more it will resonate within you. It's not about perfection. It's just about being present with the process. If frustration begins to arise within you, I invite you to offer it a gentle smile of gratitude just for the opportunity to practice, for the opportunity to be present with it. Hi, frustration. Nice to see you again. Briefly check with your mudra to make sure those pointer and pinkies are still extended and you're creating just a little pressure with the thumb on those ring and middle finger nails. Ever so slight pressure. Go ahead and take a big deep breath in. And as you exhale, go ahead and release the mudra. Keep your eyes closed here for just a moment. Let's bring our hands together into prayer, or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for today's practice, in gratitude for the prana that is always flowing through the path of least resistance to bring you to your highest good in every moment. Offer yourself gratitude for taking the time for self-care today. Fuck yeah, look at you go. And thank you for joining me in this CAYA space where we can learn and grow and thrive together. When you're ready to close your practice completely, I encourage you to rub your palms together and cup them over your eyes, offering yourself just a brief moment before fluttering your eyes open behind those hands. Thank you all for joining me for another tiny yoga class. Gosh, I love these classes. Let me pull you guys in a little closer. So that was our Apana Mudra. Thank you guys for the follows and the gifts and the love. This is our Apana Mudra. This is the mudra for the week. This week we are talking about the Earth Star chakra. So the chakra that's actually below the body in the earth. And this mudra, you're very welcome, Jewel. This mudra helps to strengthen the flow of the downward flow of energy in our body. It's actually called Apana Vayu, is the movement of prana through our system that goes downward. That energy, right, is draining out the stuff that's too heavy. The imagery that I get a lot of times is that we as humans are very dense in terms of the material in the universe, right? Compared to most of the universe, we are very, very dense. There's even denser stuff that can get stuck within our system, that can limit our mobility, that can make us feel sluggish and slow. And when we open those channels up of Apana Vayu, we release that stuff down in the earth, as I was saying before practice. Fuck yeah, that felt so good. You're very welcome, Natalie. As I was saying before practice, this is a breath. This is an exchange. The same as this is an exchange, right? When I exhale, the trees and the algae in the ocean, right? These things inhale what I exhale. And when they exhale, I inhale what they exhale. And in that way, we are interconnected. We are reliant upon each other. We take care of each other. We support each other, right? We are intimately interconnected to this physical reality, material reality. And most of it is in this energetic space. So when we strengthen that downward flow, we're doing the same thing with the earth, right? We know more recently, I guess, it's become more popular that walking barefoot is really healing, right? We actually exchange ions and balance our energy body by doing that, by walking around barefoot onto the earth, especially on the like, I said raw earth, but you know what I mean, in the dirt, on the grass. It helps to charge our systems. That's the kind of exchange that we're having with the earth itself. The same thing happens with oxygen. When we inhale oxygen, it's actually balancing and healing our energy body too. So these exchanges, we have several different energy flows. We have the Apana Vayu, we have Prana Vayu, we have, hold on, now I'm forgetting the other ones. Udana Vayu. I'm just completely blank right now. Okay, well, you have 5 different Vayus, movement of energy. One goes up, one goes down, one goes out, one comes in, and one circulates all around the entire system. I just forgot the names. Talia, what does CAYA mean? CAYA stands for come as you are, because authenticity is the purest expression of you, right? Of your energy, right? I like to think about us like an instrument, and especially this works especially with the chakras. And since we have these like a flute, right? These are the little holes of the flute. My chakras are, and my energy body is just as unique as the shape of my iris or the prints on my fingerprints, right? My fingerprints are unique to me. Nobody else has those. My energy signature is also unique to me. Nobody else has it, which means that I am intended to sing, to resonate at a very unique song that no one else is ever going to sing. Right? And in this way, we recognize why we are all important, why it's important that we're all here, and why we're all doing unique work, and why it's important for us to seek our self-actualization, because your self-actualization is the purest expression of you. That's you in your authentic nature. That's you living your purpose, being aligned and grounded in your body and in your life enough to manifest that purpose, to walk your dharma. Thank you, Jewel. To really be your dharma, rather than a lot of the ways that this current culture really misaligns us or pulls us away from our dharma and our purpose and our self-actualization, because this current culture a lot of times tells us you have to fit in this box, you have to wear these clothes, you have to take this job, you have to eat this food, you have to do it this way. And it's a standardized thing. I've been talking a lot lately about how standardization is really screwing with us, because we're not standardized. So we need these really unique, thank you, Pixie, how are you? We need these unique understandings of our systems. So that's kind of my, I guess, revolution. Oh, I said the wrong word on TikTok. This year, I am doing all of 2025. We are doing what I'm calling the Inner Light series. Why? Because you can go out there and find standardized information about the chakras, about your energy body, about the aura, about your connection to the planet, about Reiki, about whatever, about all these other things, about nutrition, about all these things, right? You can go find standardized stuff. What I really want you to do, what I would really love to do, is encourage you to build your unique book about you, right? The journal, the inner workings of your energy body. So, what I did, I was going to create a journal for these classes because every week I'm offering new tools via content and the live classes. And I was going to build a big fat journal because everybody was like, ooh, put all the information in it. Tell me about the chakras. Tell me about the aura. I want it all in there. And I realized that this was going to be like a fucking encyclopedia, like a major self help course. I was like, that's going to be expensive. And I don't want to push that out where I'm charging you guys top dollar for something that you can essentially go Google and find all the pieces for, right? Or you can come to me and talk to me about it. But anyway, so what I did create is called the Inner Light Map. The Inner Light Map is available in my shop on patreon.com/move with change. I don't do the TikTok shop stuff right now because TikTok takes up to 60% of what I make. And instead of giving TikTok 60%, I went ahead and made this a $5 PDF download. Again, it's patreon.com/move with change, and it's in the shop. It's a $5 download, and it gives you 4 pages. 2 of those pages are self-assessment pages. So one is the writing details about your self-assessment. Hey Byron, thank you, friend. Writing details: how much water I had, when did I wake up, how do I feel today, what are important to me, what's my mantra, what's my affirmation, right? All that stuff is in one page. Then there's a second page that has an image of the body at all 4 angles: front, back, and side, both sides. That way, for our creatives and the folks who are not just wordy people, you can also draw the colors of how your energy feels. You can make, little like lines on things when things feel sticky or stuck. You can create a visual aspect as well as a written, wordy aspect of self-assessment each day. And then the other 2 PDFs are for your tool and practice assessments. So one page is where you record all the information about a tool. For example, today you learned the Apana Mudra, and I usually describe how to do it, right? These other pieces and what it's for. So you'll write those down as they feel important to you. Thank you, friend. Hey, Trikind, how are you? And then when you practice it, let's say you sat with me and did those 5 minutes, then you're going to, after your practice, use that other page to write, I practiced for 5 minutes, we did so in class, and I noticed this and this happening, I noticed this and this happening, or this didn't feel good, or I noticed fucking nothing, right? But you will start to keep track. When you do that, you will start to keep track of every single tool I offer, whether it be pranayama, asanas, mudras, mantras, herbal things, stones, nutrition tips, right? I'm pushing as much of this content out. By the way, if you want to help push content out or create content, I am looking for a team, and I would really enjoy your support, and I'm happy to trade and stuff for that, so reach out if you do. So the idea is that as we go through every layer of the energy body, you will take into account how your part of the energy, that part of the energy body feels to you. And then all month you will record all the tools that you possibly can, that you gather from me, and you're going to see, hey, does this one work for me or does that one work for me? Oh, I noticed that the Apana Mudra is really amazing in the evening, but when I do it after breakfast, it hurts my belly, right? I can't teach that to you. No mudra guru or book out there can tell you that your Apana flow is stronger in the morning, or your Apana flow is stronger at this time of day, or the Prana Mudra is best for you when you're experiencing anxiety, and somebody else experiencing anxiety may really like the Padma Mudra. No one else can tell you those things. Your experimentation, your experience can tell you those things. So instead of making a massive, expensive encyclopedia and all that shit, I am offering these classes for free, and the PDF is a $5 download. And you can print it out as many times as you want. You can make as many copies as you want to. And honestly, I don't care. Give it to your friends. That's not the point. The point isn't for me to amass a huge amount of money off of, charging you guys a fuck ton. It's really just to make sure that you get the information, because the most radical thing that you can do in a world that teaches you to look directly away from the center of your truth, of your balance, of your strength, of your healing, of all of this, the path to your enlightenment, to your self-actualization, to your purpose, all of that is seated in here. Your experience of love and joy and abundance, all of that is seated in here. But we live in a world that says, no, don't look inside. It says, look elsewhere. Look to the doctor. Look to the school. Look to the person with the certification. Look to this other thing. Pay a lot of money for it. You have to pay a lot of money for your healing, right? Wellness is a privilege. Bah, humbug. Bah, I say to that. Jesus' first phone. You said, I can live every day. I can live and die every day and still have the same understanding. You can. It's your choice. Yes. Understanding, understanding, and the choice to remain as we are, or the choice to enlighten ourselves, is entirely personal, right? It's absolutely up to you. It's about personal responsibility. Nice. Good job. Try kind. Talia, but no, we love the TikTok shop because we have two for you to work here. Actually, what I need you guys to do, if you like the content and you want to continue to see, if I the way for me to make it through 2025 is for you guys to go grab memberships. I have them on Patreon, and I don't nickel and dime people. I don't push for you guys to pay for anything. But the reality is there has to be some kind of income coming in, and TikTok is actively fighting my content. They take it down, they hide it, they have me shadow banned on here because I'm offering stuff that's for free, so I'm not making them money. I'm not sensationalized. I'm not creating divisive content that people argue over, so it doesn't get all the views in the comments or whatever. But I know that it's impactful. I know that because the response I get is such a positive response from everybody who really enjoys the tools. So if you guys can help by going to Patreon and grabbing that lowest $5 membership, if we have 12,000 people here, if I had 1,000 people, or even fucking 500, who went in there and offered that and did that $5 a month membership, I wouldn't have to worry about it. I wouldn't have to stress about pushing content. I wouldn't have to stress about it, and I could do more of the live classes. The more memberships I have, the more of the live classes I can do, and the more classes and benefits that I can offer on those levels of membership. So if you love what I do, or if you just appreciate the fact that I'm offering things for free, or yeah, go grab a membership. I have a $5 membership for that lowest level of donation level. I also have an $11 membership where you can get access to all of the replays. I have more than a year's worth of free classes that I have done, and they're all archived on YouTube. You can't see anything except for the first couple months of 2025. Everything beyond that is in that membership level. And at the end of March, I'm going to close out all the replays. Each month, I will leave them open for that month. And at the end of that month, we're going to close them off, and they're going to go in the membership so we can stay focused on our topic. And so the people who get that $11 a month membership get more value. I don't know any app or platform that you can pay $11 for over a year's worth of classes. I don't even know how to count them because I was doing it 3 times a week plus other classes. Like, there's a ton of fucking content there. You can do classes for days and days and years with that membership for just $11. Then I do have a group coaching membership. I have a private coaching membership. And then I also have a 40-day coaching intensive. Please, if you choose the intensive, make sure that you reach out to me first because we have to schedule it appropriately. It's 40 days where we are checking in every single day. We are doing 3 times a week calls, and you have complete and total unfettered access to my toolbox. So I know it's hard to leave one platform and go to the other, but I would deeply appreciate those of you who've been around for a while and who find the content useful to go ahead and grab that $5 membership, even if you can just do it for a little while, even if it's just for a little bit. I do also have like a donation jar with Cash App and things like that. As soon as I start talking about it, though, TikTok takes my live down because apparently we're not even supposed to send people off the platform. Jesus' first phone. It's not for me to tell you how to understand. Yeah. Hey, Andrew, how are you? Jesus' new phone, first phone. Are you new in here? Are you new in here? This is our CAYA space. Again, come as you are. CAYA stands for come as you are, because authenticity, like I said, is the purest expression of you, right? That's when we talk about Dharma and we talk about ourselves as these unique individuals, right? We have a unique song, we have unique energy. And this is my perspective of talking about this. That comes from my experience and my education and my exploration of these things and my studying of these things. You may have a different perspective. You may see the world a different way, and that's okay. And that's what authenticity is about showing up honestly with the way that we understanding that our beliefs and our biases create our reality, and that if we are valuable simply in existing as ourselves, simply in our own experience and our own understanding of the world, then you can also be valuable in your understanding and experience of the world, even if it's different than mine. A really huge thing that we need in the world are people who are willing to take responsibility for their own biases, for our own biases and our own actions and our own words, and say, yeah, this is my little corner of reality, but that does not mean that it's the end all be all truth. And it doesn't mean that everybody has to live in my, it would be really fucking crowded if everybody lived in my corner of reality, looked like me, acted like me, believed like me. Like, that shit would be boring as hell. That would be like taking the rainbow after a rain and making it all red or all yellow, right? And so we don't want to do that. We don't want to deny each other the opportunity that we have simply by existing, right? That's yours. But to truly exist in our authentic self, we have to be responsible for ourselves and our projections and our expectations and the way that our beliefs interact with the external world, right? Personal responsibility is really, really, really important when you're taking when you're progressing on your spiritual journey, and not just your spiritual journey, your psychological journey, like self growth journey. There is so much personal power in being able to take responsibility for yourself, rather than pointing your finger everywhere and condemning other people because you don't agree with them, or saying they're wrong or bad because you don't agree with them, kind of deal. Like, you don't gain anything from that. In fact, that is this, or that is this, even worse, right? What am I going to learn if I'm running around with my eyes closed, demanding that everybody believe exactly what's in my head when nobody else can see the world from that perspective? It's willful ignorance, right? When we fight against understanding other people's perspectives, or we fight against the validity of someone else's perspective. And that's not what I'm about in this space. That's why we call it our CAYA community. But to create, right? Hey, Mr. Marshmallow. But to create a inclusive space, to become a tolerant society, we must be intolerant of intolerance. And that's where that personal responsibility comes in. There's a difference between authenticity and what's the word, intolerant. But they can look really similar, right? Sometimes we think that being authentic just means being however the hell I am, however I feel like being to whoever. But that's arrogance. That's an out of balance solar plexus chakra. It froze, Jewel. I bet you it froze because of the words I was using. TikTok doesn't like me talking about things. The word ignorance gets flagged. The word revolution gets flagged. Yeah. So again, for those of you who would like a smoother viewing process, I am always also live on YouTube. I move a change on YouTube. And if you grab that replay membership too, you can have all the replays of class, the full replay. Is it still frozen? Okay, do you guys want to talk about the earth chakra a little bit? Talia, TikTok is nice because you can just talk. I know. Well, I have a chat. There's a chat over on YouTube too. It's a live chat, so you can talk over there as well. I'm trying to figure out how to get everything in the same stream service so that I can have one chat and then it goes out to the various platforms. But thank you, Andrew. But I just found out that TikTok is no longer giving a stream key out unless you're an Apple user, because there's some, like, Apple doesn't jive with TikTok Studio or something. So they're really cracking down on, like, they're like, you're not allowed to stream at TikTok and somewhere else at the same time. I was like, what the crap? So I don't know. I love this platform. I love the interaction. I love the fact that we've built an amazing over 12,000 people community here, which is fucking amazing. But I don't like that they take 60% of what I make, and I don't like that they hide my live if I say things like arrogance or ignorance or revolution, or they nitpick my words, right? Anyway, anyway. I'd really like to stay on here. Natalie, you said the cheapest you found is like $400 a year, and that was 50% off the stream to multiple platforms. So what I use right now is called Streamster, and Streamster is by far my favorite. I should ask to be an affiliate for them or something, because Streamster allows you to pay by the hours that you use your live, and by the number. So you can have, like, right now I have access to up to 4 channels, and it charges me, like, 5 cents, 10 cents or something per hour on those 4 channels. If I have 2 channels, it charges me less per hour. If I have more than 4 channels, right, it like goes up to different levels. It's got different levels, and it'll charge you by how many channels you have per hour. So instead of paying ahead at all, I use Streamster, and I just pay for what I use. And they have a cheap level. They're not a cheap level. They have a free level. If you're using, I think it's just 2. If you're streaming to 2, and then you don't have to pay at all. The only thing about that is that, again, I need the TikTok stream key to make it work over there on Streamster, but they're not giving it out anymore. So, hey, Cheesy Rat, how are you? So, do you guys want to talk about the Earth Chakra? I'll pull my board out. I've got my dry erase board here, my handy dandy Virgo thing. We've got until 4 o'clock. We will chat until 4, and then I will go, and we have a watch party that happens on Friday nights. We stream from CAYA.com. I don't know how I should do this. You guys see that okay? No, not at all. I can't see that at all, T. Okay, hold on. Let me help you. Talia, you like my mug? So I love my mug so much that I want to make more of them. I was like, there needs to be an entire line of tea trolls and coffee elves and things like that, right? Like, yeah. So I was gifted recently a potter's wheel, and I'm going to start making them. The only thing that's holding me back right now is I don't have a way to fire them. I have a fireplace, but I'd have to use one of the, like, little deals. So I'm working on it. I'm working on making more. Because where did I find it? Where did I found it? I found it in a thrift store, and it had no label for who made it or where it went or anything like that. The handle that was here did break shortly after we got it, but that's okay. So I will be making some more of these, and maybe, who knows, maybe it'll turn out that that's actually my career, is making these things. I make a variety of things. I also make malas, like prayer beads and things like that. I shouldn't say the word hate. I dislike having to keep things in my house, right? And then ship them out. Andrew, you'd buy one? Andrew, aren't you pretty close to where I'm at, right? Are you the same Andrew? That's pretty close. I would buy 5. See, I'm thinking of making like little ones too, so you can have like little, smaller ones versus big ones. I love this one so much. And here's the secret. I want to put crystals in the belly button. Remember, like, trolls had all the hair and crystals in their belly. Some of them have jewels in their belly button. I want to put a jewel in the belly button. And I would also like to make tops for them. so that you don't have to leave your coffee cup open, right? Leave your cup open. So yeah, that's the plan. The plan is to put a crystal in it. The plan is to make feet and cute toes and belly. And the plan is to make a top, probably with some hair on it, if I can figure out how to make those things. But first, I need a fucking kiln. I need a kiln. Oh, okay, Andrew, you're in Ohio. All right, there's another Andrew that's not too far from here. I'm in the Pacific Northwest. So let's chat about these. I promise when I have these made, I will let you guys know. I will probably grab a live right when I'm making them and be like, look, I finally did the thing. Natalie, you asked if I wonder if I can make a homemade kiln out of cinder blocks. So there's two things, right? I'm here in Oregon, and first of all, with the fireplace, I can buy a kiln that's like a mini kiln, but the space inside is very, very limited, and my fireplace is only so big. So I don't know if that's an option, but because I live where I live in Southern Oregon, we have a ton of clay and rocks outside. Like there's not really soil, it's mostly clay. So I was watching a YouTube video, of course, about how to filter the clay. So I'm thinking about actually making a kiln out of the local clay and rocks that are right in my yard. And then if that works, I might even use the local clay to make the mugs. I think that would be super, super extra cool to be like Oregon made, Oregon clay. Talia, okay, I'll take your personal order. Let's manifest a kiln. Come on, guys, let's manifest a kiln. I'm telling you, if I had 1,000 of my 12,000 followers here on TikTok go over to the patreon.com/move with change, go to the shop or go to the membership, and grab that $5 membership, I would be able to buy a kiln. So get your butt over there. See, you already know. I know, but I have to like do the process with the things. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the earth chakra. Speaking of the earth, speaking of play with clay, speaking of using the earth to build things and do things. Let's talk about our chakra system. Our at least our minor chakras. Let's talk about what we've been talking about all month long. I can't find the right position. Dog. Okay. All right, let me move you guys over here. And we'll move you over here. Sorry, YouTube. Make sound. Oh. Sorry. It's a little bit low, too. Can you see that okay, Natalie? Oh. Sorry, hon. I love you. Okay. Actually, I'm going to bring this up, and I'll get another box for the computer. Hold on. Beep, beep, dog. Beep, beep.
Sorry, I was just trying to untie the string.
You're all good.
But I got it all tangled up on me now.
Okay. Yeah, I am actually making all kinds of stuff right now. More recently, I've decided to deal with some of my anxiety by crafting. So I'm making a variety of things that you may see randomly placed up in the shop on Patreon. So the 2025 Inner Light series. In January, we started with the aura, the energy body as a whole, and the area around the whole body, right? We talked about the aura, the different layers of the aura, and I offer tools all month long to work with the aura. The February, the second month, we went into the energy channels in the system, the energy flow, the movement of those flows. We talked about that at the beginning of class, the downward flow of energy, the upward flow of energy, the outward flow of the energy, the inward flow of energy, and the circulating flow of energy. And we talked about the energy channels and how they work with mudras and things like that. In March, that's where we're at now, Dee. Time is irrelevant, you guys. We're in March now, so we're talking about the minor chakras from the belly button down. Later on in the year, next month, we're going to talk about the root chakra, and then in May, we'll talk about the sacral, and we'll go all the way through solar, heart, throat, brow, crown, and then we'll talk about the soul star, as well as the upper minor chakras, the armpit chakras, the shoulder chakras, the chin and nose ones, stuff like that. We'll talk about those in November. And then in December, I have a surprise for everybody. For those of you who hang out throughout the year, you will get the most out of the surprise in December if you go get that inner light map, because you'll have something to reference, okay? Remember. All right. So this month, here are the minor chakras. We have a belly button chakra. We have which we refer to as the Hara chakra. You might also hear it referred to as the Tantine chakra. My pronunciation may not be perfect, so excuse me for that. Then we have our Vritti chakras, which are our reproductive pairs, right? And depending on feminine or masculine biology, they're going to be located in different spots. You guys know what I'm talking about? I can't say certain things on TikTok. So the Vritti chakras are here. And then we have the Janu or Janu Marma chakras, which are in the knees. And then we have a centered one. When these are balanced in the knees, we have a very strong center chakra between the knees. If your knees are out of balance, this one can be really weak to almost non-existent. So it's like these two things being balanced create a third. Then we have our chakras in the feet. We talked about this one last week, and I showed you guys where each of these chakras are. A really good way to work with the foot chakras, honestly, is to go get yourself one of those reflexology charts, because the areas of the chakras will correlate with the areas of the organs where those chakras are, right? Because this stuff is all interconnected. It's not isolated. It's not... Thank you, Natalie. Yes, the Vritti chakras are our Rocky Mountain oyster chakras. Thank you. That's exactly what I needed. Okay, so our feet chakras. We'll go over these one more time here too. So the root chakra is the heel of the foot. I'll go ahead and give you a foot too. I'll go ahead and give you a foot. Come here, you guys. Come here. Get over here. Not that close. Also, if somebody could go grab a membership so I can fix my freaking phone stand, that'd be great. That'd be great. Thanks, guys. It's gonna stay? Okay. So let's do this real quick. Watch. This is how TikTok works. I'm gonna put my foot on the screen, and we're gonna end up with 50 people in here. Are you ready? Got your thumb on the pulse of the nation. Okay. Root chakra is right here across the heel. The heel itself is the root chakra. So all of this area, you're going to be dealing with elimination. You're going to be dealing with the tailbone. You're going to be dealing with the lower digestive system. And then you get up into the sacral chakra. So here's the root, is the heel. The sacral chakra. Shh, Natalie. The sacral chakra actually is not the only one, but the sacral chakra is a little different. So we got the root is the heel. The sacral is kind of this line here above the heel, and you will see that on reflexology charts. There's kind of this line area right here, and then that will go up to the ankle. So it actually leaves the bottom of the foot and accounts for this area here. We have pressure points, reflexology points down below the ankle for our Rocky Mountain oysters, for our men and masculine and feminine Rocky Mountain oysters. So right about here, rational rod, please study science. So I would love to refer you to the Heart Math Institute, which has been studying this since the 70s. I would love to refer you to Vedic sciences and Ayurveda and Eastern medicine, who have been studying the energy body, the chakra system, and the correlation between the pressure points that are on our body, as well as the correlation between the different our endocrine system, as well as our digestive system, and where all the clusters of energy the nerve endings actually come together are at the same spot as your chakras. So information and studies and use of the energy body and the chakras and the energy system and energy tools has been around since 1500 BC, and we have record of that. I encourage you to go ahead and study up on this stuff, or hang out in here so I can teach you about it. Come as you are, right? But take responsibility for our own limitation and understanding, our own ignorance. We start in ignorance. We all start in ignorance. And the only way we walk ourselves out of ignorance is by becoming our own guru and recognizing, hey, There might be things I don't know about. And if I walk in like this saying, yeah, you're full of shit, then I don't have the opportunity to receive damn near anything. But again, that's up to you. You can live your whole life showing up like this and not learning anything. You'll learn something. You'll learn something. I guarantee you that. So let's get back to the foot. I know that's what you guys were all enjoying. So root chakra is on the heel. Sacral chakra is right here, this strip above the heel and up into the ankles. If you are having cramps, if you have other stuff going on with your reproductive or your pelvic floor kind of area, or your low digestion, even your bladder, you can play with, just put your fingers on that line right across your heel, as well as up here, and massage your ankles. Massage the Achilles heel. This is, I actually have a spot for the reproductive one right here because I have been dealing with endometriosis all my life. And guess what helps treat endometriosis? Sorry, I can't say treat or heal. It balances. It addresses the okay. So root, sacral, solar plexus is all right here. All this soft spot on the bottom of the foot, the rest of the bridge. This is the solar plexus. This part of the solar plexus represents your spine, right? The bridge represents your spine. So your solar plexus right here, and remember your chakras have a front and a back too. So your front of your solar plexus, hold on, let me finish the foot first, and then we'll go back to the chakra system. Solar plexus is here, okay, all in this soft spot inside of your foot. Then the heart, I have dog hair between my toes. Then the heart is here at the ball of the foot. The entire ball of the foot is the chest, is the heart chakra, as well as the back. Remember, your chakras have a front and a back. And these ones are directly behind and directly in front. Okay. The legs of your toes, which we decided to call them last week, the legs of your toes are your throat chakra. So if you're struggling with your voice, if you're struggling to be honest about something, if you're struggling to receive someone else's honesty, if you're having communication issues, or specifically with a person, one particular person, or in a particular situation, or even just in general, massage the legs of your toes. Get in between your toes and wiggle them around. If you've never done that before, it might feel weird. If you are struggling to touch the bottom of your feet at all, that's probably going to be an issue with your earth chakra, but we'll get there in a second. Talia, I'd love to hear that. Yes, I would love to if you'd message me about it. Okay, so heart, throat on the legs of the toes. That means the brow is on the pads of your toes. The brow, the third eye chakra, are on the pads of your toes here. And then the crown chakra is right here at the tip of your big toe. Think about this, right? We have the most nerve endings that all reach to the tip of your big toe? And this crown chakra, this is an area, right, where you've got all of this energy coming in. This is your connection to source. This is your connection to pranic energy. Your root chakra is your connection to apanic energy. We were talking about that before. Apana is the downward flow. The root or the crown chakra, prana, is upward flow. Place of 1,000 meetings. Yes, nice rhyme and prose. I like the way you said that. Medusa's Wild suggested, Talia, that you share the technique on TikTok. I would love to see that. Yeah, please do. Tag me in it. Monica, better connection. Just confirm, better connection here on YouTube. So if you guys are struggling with the connection on TikTok, YouTube is always better because YouTube is not hiding my content from you. Andrew, what about the bone on the outside of the foot? This here? I'm not a reflexologist. I'm not a reflexologist, so I can't tell you what the reflexology is for all these parts. What I do know is that this is the area for the solar plexus. This is for the heart. Here is for the sacral, and here is for the root. And so if you want to address those things, and if you go grab a reflexology chart, it's going to help you connect what areas of the body the chakras are addressing, what are associated with those different chakras as well. Having pain in your heel. This is interesting. So remember that your physical body is the top. Sir, please turn the volume down.
Keep dog away.
No, please. You're exciting him because you're doing this game. Okay. You know the stack of stones, the Cairn, C-A-R-Y-N, stack of stone. At the top of that stone If any of the other stones in that stack are out of balance, the top one's going to wiggle. You're going to see it in the top one first because that's just how that shit works, right? This is a perfect example for the physical body is the top right here. That means that if any layer of self, mental, emotional, energetic, all these other things that can go on, what's going to happen is going to manifest in the physical body. And that can be, yes, that means every single ache and pain, discomfort, worry, stress in your gut, belch, fart, all of this can be addressed by affecting the energy body. And that's why I find the energy body so fucking powerful. So with your heel, again, as I was saying a minute ago, if you're having trouble touching your feet, if you struggle to walk around barefoot, if you experience regular pain in more than one of these areas of your foot, it might be a little less about the chakras in your feet or about your upper chakras and more about your connection to your earth chakra. So your earth chakra, the Vasudhara chakra in Sanskrit, the Vasudhara chakra in Sanskrit. This is the earth star, right? It's located about a foot to about 18 inches below our bodies. And this is the axis. If our root chakra is our grounding in our physical body, the earth chakra is our grounding in the physical reality, in the physical earth, right? Our root chakra asks, am I safe to be myself? Am I safe to be in my body? Am I safe to be alive? This asks on a much bigger level, is it okay for us humans to be here? My generational trauma is going to be anchored here in the earth and in my ancestors' interaction between their feet and the earth. And I'm going to pick this up based on my genetics, based on my energy signature and all that kind of stuff, right? So if you're dealing with bigger issues in the feet that are not located in just one spot, right? Like if you have an issue with your big toe, then it's probably going to have to do with your crown chakra or with your third eye chakra, right? If you have an issue in the bridge of your foot, then look at your mid chakras, your digestive chakras, your sacral and your solar plexus chakra. But if you're dealing with, I can't step foot outside barefoot, look at your connection to the earth. Look at your ancestral karma, ancestral trauma that you might be coming in with. Look at your, honestly, desire to be alive. This is where when we feel disconnected from our lives, where we feel like we don't belong, where we feel like there's somewhere else that we should be, and that kind of deep, deep stuff, it feels deep because it is deep, because it's rooted in the very earth. So how do we address these things? How do we address the earth chakra? How do we address the feet chakras? How do we address imbalances in these lower chakras? Move. If you can't step on the ground outside barefoot, then sit and put your feet on the ground so you're not putting pressure on them. Go put your feet in a river, in some water. Go walk on the shore with where the ocean is, right? Where the ocean touches the sand. Dance. Any sort of deep drumming, stomping, right? A really great somatic release practice is to just jump up and down and stomp. And it's specifically on your heels. So someone up there who was saying they have issues with their heels, if you can't put pressure and like bang your heels on the ground, if it hurts too much to do that, right? Just start by putting your bare feet on the ground and putting a little bit of pressure and then release. And then a little bit of pressure and then release. A little bit of pressure and hold that pressure while you take a deep breath. As you take a deep breath, imagine the breath. We did this during our yoga practice, right? Today. We don't just breathe here. We don't just breathe here. We don't even just breathe here. You can pull the breath all the way down. So let's do this practice here. I'd like you to go ahead and close your eyes if you'd like to, because it helps bring the attention inward. So we'll close our eyes, and as we inhale, we'll do this in a couple of stages. First, let's pull the breath down into the belly. Inhale, expand the belly. And exhale, bring the belly button back in towards the spine. Do this a couple times so you can feel just the breath pulling all the way down into your gut. When we first start doing this, it may feel really sticky, like we can't get a full breath. So make sure that your rib cage is also expanding and your collarbone is also expanding. Inhale. Oh, you feel that? Next breath, inhale, and this time bring it all the way to your pelvic floor. If you're seated, bring it to your seat. See if you can bring your breath all the way down to your seat. Thank you guys for the follows, for the gifts, for the love, all the support. Inhale, all the way down to your root. And then exhale from the root all the way up, back out. Inhale again, all the way down to the root. Feel the way your pelvis ever so slightly expands with that breath. And exhale completely. Next breath, pull it down into the knees. See if you can bring your breath all the way down into your knees. Take several breaths and just at your own pace, bring that intention all the way down into your knees. It's okay if it feels weird. It's okay if there's a voice in the back of your head that's like, I don't know what she's fucking talking about. I don't feel anything. Let that voice fade off into the background and just return your attention. Inhale. All the way into the knees. And then imagine the breath pulling from the knees all the way back up as it exhales. We're going to do it again this time. One more time into the knees. Inhale. Feel that sensation in your knees. Then exhale that out. Next time, all the way into the heels. This is pretty far. Inhale the breath all the way in, all the way down into the heels. Take several breaths. It might take a couple breaths to get your awareness all the way into your heels. No shame, no guilt, no blame, no bullshit. Just your breath. Remember that our brains do a lot of trying to prove themselves right. And so if it's very new for you to move your breath like this, your brain may be naysaying in the background because it's not within your normal realm of experience. So what we're doing here is offering our brains an opportunity to rewrite that narrative, right? What we're doing is looking for the most subtle. We're looking for the most we're looking for whatever we can perceive about the breath. Pulling all the way down through the nose, through the mouth, wherever you're breathing in through, all the way down into the heels. And really sink your attention into the heels and notice anything that you can notice. Rewrite the brain. And as you exhale, focus your awareness. Feel the breath pulling all the way up through your heels and all the way up through your legs and all the way up through your torso and out again. Huge deep breaths, full body deep breaths. Let's do a couple more, all the way into the heels. Remember that when we breathe, oxygen is charged. Oxygen has a magnetic charge to it. When you're inhaling that oxygen, you are charging your system. So just sitting here and watching the breath go all the way down into your heels and back out is doing an amazing job of charging your energy body, bringing you back into balance, right? Now I invite you to put a little pressure into the heels. We're going to use that pressure to reach down into our root chakra, or into our earth star chakra, excuse me. Our earth chakra, which is about 1 foot to 18 inches or so below the feet. On this next breath, pull your breath all the way from your nose into, down through the torso, the legs, the knees, the feet, and into the earth. See if you can breathe that breath all the way down into the planet. And again, exhaling, pulling it up from 1 foot below the planet, or below your feet, up out the body, up out the nose. We're not looking for any particular kind of sensation. We're not looking for any particular kind of experience. We're dropping expectation and just paying witness, just offering ourselves the opportunity to feel this experience. Inhale again, the breath through the nose, all the way down through the torso, through the thighs, through the knees, through the calves, through the ankles, through the feet, and down into that earth chakra. Pull it all the way down there, reaching for that earth chakra. And exhaling it all the way back out. these simple practices can help strengthen our connection to these different parts of our energy body. Just our awareness of these different parts of our energy body offers us a deeper connection. Most of us may feel ungrounded or feel like we don't belong, partially because we just haven't taken care of this part of our system. It's kind of like saying my feet hurt, right? But you don't ever do anything to take care of your feet. Like, or my feet are dirty, but I never wash them, right? So this earth chakra does need our attention and our awareness, right? Your awareness is the light that exists in the universe, is the one constant in the universe, awareness itself. And so time and space bend around that experience. If your awareness never gives any time or attention to that earth chakra, it doesn't exist in your awareness. So it's not going to be nearly as strong. It's not going to be nearly as, you're not going to feel nearly as grounded. Was anybody able to feel the breath down in the knees or in the feet or even below? Natalie, this makes me feel like a magician. Breath talk? Is there a breath talk? Breathe talk? What? So obviously, as we're talking about our earth chakra, again, our earth chakra grounds us into the collective experience of our physical reality. It grounds us into our ancestral lineage of karma, of grounding, of connection to the earth, and it's going to influence our sense of belonging in this life. It's going to influence our sense of connection to the earth itself. Again, one of the things that you can do to take care of this is just to walk around barefoot. If you can't walk barefoot, or if you're dealing with a lot of pain in your feet, then I encourage you to just put your bare feet on the earth. It doesn't have to be walking around. You can sit somewhere and wiggle your toes in the mud, put your feet in some water, right? Any of this stuff, or even just close your eyes and breathe. Even just inhaling the breath all the way down. Another favorite practice that I really, really love, before we finish up here, we've got a little less than 15 minutes. So one of my other favorite practices is to imagine the roots coming out of my feet or out of the pelvic floor. But because we're talking about this here, the feet chakras and these lower chakras, we're going to focus out of the feet. So the way this goes is to simply, I always like to close my eyes. This mudra this week can really help with this practice. Andrew, you love grounding. Wait, you're in both places, Andrew. All right, so our mudra for this week, again, is the Apana mudra. You drop the middle two fingers in and then cover the nails of those middle two fingers with your thumb. That's going to leave your index and your pinky finger extended on both hands. This is the Apana mudra. This is the downward flow of energy mudra. Please, hey, Jackie, thank you. If you are in the early stages of pregnancy, please do not use this because it will release your pelvic floor. If you have just eaten, I would advise against using this because it does move your digestion pretty quickly. This encourages and balances and strengthens whatever the downward flow of energy in our system. Again, Apana mudra, because it's called the Apana Vayu, downward flow of energy. Go ahead and rest that on your thighs and make sure your feet are touching the ground for this practice. Go ahead and close your eyes, and we're going to take those 3 deep breaths to fully arrive for our practice. Begin by inhaling the breath through the nose, through the lungs, and all the way into the belly. And sigh it out. Inhale again, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. And let that go. Inhale again, this time lifting through the top of the head and lifting the heart. As you exhale, gently tuck the chin and allow the shoulder blades to melt down the back. Give your elbows a little wiggle to make sure they're hanging nice and loose. Release any tension in the low back, any holding in the thighs. Seal the lips and return to the breath. Find a comfortable, steady rhythm. First, just bringing your awareness to this flow of breath, finding yourself in this inhale and exhale. Remember, rest your attention here on the breath. Anything else happening around you or outside of you or even inside of you is not worth your attention right now. Only the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Nice and steady. can stay here with the breath, and remember, you can return to the breath anytime you need to. When you feel ready, I invite you to move your attention down into the feet, into the bottom of the feet. And notice any sensations of connection. Notice the points where there's pressure on your toes, on the balls of your foot, on your heels, on the bridge, on the outside of your foot. Wherever you feel connection between your feet and the earth, I invite you to feel into that sensation. And in this moment, recognize that what that sensation is not merely that these things are touching, but that your feet are growing roots down into the earth. Did you see that? You see those little tendrils beginning to grow from the bottom of your feet and go down through the layers of carpet and wood flooring and foundation and grass and soil and compact layers of earth, maybe stone and rock, maybe limestone, maybe pockets of water, maybe pockets of oil. See those roots going deeper and deeper and deeper into the earth as they reach through compressed layers of earth, layers and layers, as it becomes hotter and hotter and softer until your roots reach that hot molten core at the very center of the earth, not to be burned. It doesn't hurt. It's warm and comforting. It's grounding. You can feel the way that it's warming up your feet already. Just this connection. Stay with the visual of the roots in your feet. Down into the earth, grounding you, connecting you, anchoring you into this reality, into this body, into your ancestral lineage, into this collective space. Once you feel those roots are grounded, are connected, I invite you to again inhale. This time as you inhale, gather up anything that you don't fucking need anymore. Gather up anything that's stuck, anything that's heavy, anything you don't want in your system, any debris, any nonsense, anything. Inhale and gather it all up. And then as you exhale, allow this Apana Mudra to send that all down into the earth. Take a big energetic dump and leave it there to fertilize the soil of the earth. Inhale, gather up the debris, the spider webs, the coal, the crap that you're ready to let go of. And exhale all the way down into the earth. Feeding the earth the same way that my exhale feeds the trees, so does my energetic exhale feed the earth. Inhale, receiving charge, receiving grounding, receiving vitality from the earth. And exhale to let all the rest of that shit go. Notice the way you sink into this practice. Notice the weight you may be feeling in your feet or in your legs. Keep that spine nice and long so we don't start to collapse upon ourselves. And go ahead and stay with this practice, repeating the breaths to gather up whatever doesn't serve you and exhaling to release it into the earth. You can return to the visualization of the roots down into the earth. Whatever part of this practice serves you most or you feel most drawn to. I invite you to stay there as long as you would like. When you're ready to close your practice, this one feels really nice. I don't know if I'm really ready to close, but I will. When you're ready to close your practice, go ahead and release the mudra and bring your palms together at your heart, or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for the space, in gratitude for the tool, in gratitude for the prana, in gratitude for the opportunity to meet yourself exactly where you're at. Offer yourself a little bit of gratitude for taking the time for self-care as well. That's really important. And thank you again for joining me in this CAYA space where we can learn and grow and thrive together. When you are ready to come out of your practice, rub your palms together and cup them over your eyes, offering yourself just a nice moment before fluttering them open behind those hands. Did you guys feel that? How do your feet feel? How do your legs feel? How do your pelvic floor feel? Where's my coffee? There it is. Thank you, Andrew. Not right now, son. I have 6 more minutes. So much better. So remember, for now, everyone, replays are on YouTube. I am Move with Change on YouTube. For those of you who hang out and enjoy my content, I encourage you to go over to Patreon and grab yourself a membership. If you want to keep having access to replays, you'll need a membership for that by April 1st. If you want to keep seeing content and live classes, I need some people to go grab some memberships. So whether it's the $5 donation membership, whether it's the $11 replay membership, whether it's the $22 group coaching membership, or any of the other private coaching memberships on top of that, that is up to you. If you want to leave a one-time donation, you can reach out to me, or there's a Cash App tag on Patreon as well. You can also come join us in our Discord space. We have a free community space where we chat more about this stuff, share more tools, and where you get a direct feed to my content, which, because apparently TikTok hides my content. Turns out having a direct feed into Discord means you guys actually get to see all my stuff. Sorry. Getting myself for funny laughs. Okay. So this evening we are having our watch party. It starts in an hour at 5 o'clock Pacific time, and we will be watching another episode from our Ancient Civilizations series from CAYA.com. If you're interested in that, come join us. It's mind-boggling stuff. We watch it several times over, so if you're not able to join at 5, you can come in an hour or two and join us then as well, and we will chat about it in between each one. If there's anything else important, oh yeah, next week, now that we've talked about all these, the minor chakras, the feet chakras, the earth star chakra, now we're going to talk about the chakras on the planet itself. I've been asked about that more recently, so we're going to actually talk about where the chakras on the earth are. And yes, yeah, you'll have to show up next week. And that's Wednesday's class. If you have any questions about the content that I've shared today, about the class we did today, feel free to send me a message, or ideally comment on my content here on TikTok, because TikTok uniquely allows me to respond by video, and I can make you a video that answers your question and or offers tools for whatever the predicament that you're wanting to work through. So I appreciate the interactions. I appreciate the love. Someday, hopefully, we can make TikTok pay for this content. So the more you guys interact with it, the more you share it, the more you like it, the more you comment on it, the more I can make duets and stitches and things like that and respond via video, the more TikTok realizes you actually like this. Even though it's not making TikTok a bunch of money. I'm not letting them take 60%, man. I'm not. So anyway, if you have any questions, if you want links to get to the shop, or you want links to get into Discord, you can always just send me a message, and I'm happy to send you those directly. If you have some free time and you like what I do, or you're interested in what I do and want to either apprentice or help me with the editing and the content creation or the content posting, please reach out to me. I've been doing this pretty much on my own for more than a year now. And I'm focusing this year on building a team. Because I've reached kind of a ceiling for as far as I can go in terms of me creating the content and me editing everything and me posting everything and me hosting the lives and doing all that stuff. So if you have the interest, if you have the skills, or you'd like to learn them, I offer coaching exchange for anybody who is helping me, and I have a lot of content to edit. I have a lot of stuff to go through. So I love you all so much. Otherwise, enjoy your Friday. I hope everybody is faring well enough with the Mercury retrograde and the Venus retrograde. I'm sorry for those of you who are not. Note that during this double retrograde with Venus and Mercury in retrograde, one of the biggest red flags is we are going to see more arguments in our relationships. So let's hold on to that personal accountability. Let's take responsibility for where our energy is, for what our expectations are about other people, for the reality that our beliefs and our expectations create around us, and let's see if we can take some personal responsibility as well as get out of our own way. One of the best things to do during a Mercury retrograde is to work on your throat chakra. So the throat chakra is located here at the front of the throat, and it's located here at the back of the throat. If you have issues with the back of your neck, it means an imbalance in your throat chakra, or an imbalance between the heart and the third eye, which would mean your ability to speak truth, your ability to know your truth, your ability to communicate the things that you really want and need. So if you're struggling with the throat chakra at all, or any of these things about communication, even if it's speech related or hearing related, it can help with the throat chakra. Talkin' Tan, personal accountability has been my phrase this week. Absolutely. Honestly, here's the thing. I've been through traumatic things. I've been through abuse. I've been through stories that I don't share to the public. I've been through a lot of shit myself, right? And for a long time, I pointed my finger at the people who did those things to me, at the situations that got me in those places. And when I did that, what I realized after some time, right, after a lot of self-work, is all I was doing was giving away my power. I realized how magical this index finger right here is. You know, we say there's 3 pointing back at you. I don't worry about that, because what I'm looking at is realizing that just by doing this, I am sending my energy away. I am saying the center of control in my life is out there. I'm the victim. They did this. There's nothing I can do about it. They caused it. It's their fault. It's their fart, not mine. If that's the case, and there's nothing I can do, no way that I can behave differently, nothing that I can do to protect or change the situation at all for myself, then I will be powerless, and I will remain powerless. And I know that this is a slippery slope to walk, because, again, as a person who has been accosted and has been in those kinds of situations, we don't want to victim blame. But the reality is that at some point we need to learn to take responsibility for ourselves, for our choices, for our actions, and we need to learn how to cultivate an inner sense of control and an inner sense of power. That took me a long time. I was easily the arrogant coach who was telling everybody else how to do things when I was not taking full responsibility for me and still blaming others for my situation, right? Taking personal responsibility can be really, really difficult, because usually we feel justified. Usually we feel validated, right? Usually, and we can probably call somebody in our life to say, that motherfucker did that, and they're like, yeah, screw them. But the sense of empowerment that starts to develop when you truly find the center of being unaffected, when you truly find the center of, you know, if somebody pokes you with their words, well, I am so centered and balanced in my authentic self that your judgment of me or condemnation of my actions does not shake that center core. When we don't have that grounding and that balance, it's very easy for somebody to just go, oh, they hurt my feelings. True strength comes from within us, is seated within ourselves. True power is not about overpowering others. It's about being able to stand upright no matter how big the storm. Right? True authenticity is being able to admit when you were the one who fucking farted and stunk up the space. Yep, that was me. That was my emotional outburst. Hi, everyone. I'm going to take my emotional outburst and we're going to go sit in the other room and we're going to chat about what just happened. And maybe next time we won't stink up the space. We are silly little humans. We are such silly little humans. And in our arrogance, we forget how playful the world really is. So, I hope that you stay in this space. I hope that you spend more time with me this year. I hope that you come grab coaching and come and join us in the Discord, because I want to learn about you too. I want to connect with you too. I want to hear about your journey. And I would love more people in my circle who love shenanigans, because What did I hear yesterday? If I shenan once, you know I'm gonna shenan again. Sorry, guys. Jokes are not my forte. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have lunch, and then I'm gonna go over into Discord, and we're going to. Nope, stop. And we're going to go ahead and watch the next two episodes in our Ancient Aliens series. I love you too. I love you guys so much. So, again, I greatly would appreciate if any and all of you who can and are willing to can go over to patreon.com/move the change and go ahead and grab a membership. Otherwise, I won't be able to keep doing these classes. So, unfortunately, at this point, I do have to kind of say that a couple more times because that's where we're at. I love you, and I will see you in Patreon. I will see you in the Discord, and dog is ready to go play outside. Huh? Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh. All right. Good night, everyone. See you later, YouTube.